All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering deceptively. I wish to let them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Dala, Dangwara Zibe, no Bara Zibe, Tarba, Dan Tamje, Jimbala, Barde, Jubara Zeba, Tamje, Jezo Zebe, Mananga, Danyambe, Zenjen, Danje, Dewa, Dande, Dungara, Dandra, Yorda, Laname, Yangda, Bara, Zobe, Zanju, Rumbu, Jedo, Bara, Zo. Dasanta achieving enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and the mind. We take refuge in the kind rule mind the lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the exalted excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dhakas and Dhakinis and the Dhamma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and the likewise in the example of Bodhisattvas. As pure as the Buddhas invest the enlightened mind and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, are true for the benefit of all sentient beings, giving birth to bodhicitta, and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge under enlightenment reach. By the merit of Janarasri and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in calamity, free from attachment and aversion. So long seventh long prayer. Okay, Danila, can you read?
Yes, of course.
Thanks.
I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions, those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower garlands, of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri piled high as Mount Meru and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I've committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyeka Buddhas, those who have attained arhatship, those who have entered the path of arhatship, and all other beings. I request to all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I've gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Thank you, Khenpo. Would you like me to continue? The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and moon. As the Buddha feel, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. To the lamas who possess the three kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings with my body, wealth, and all that is visible. Please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Rana Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparna Samaya Ahum. Unequaled refuge, ornament of the world. Your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are the victor Vajradhara without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father Jigten Sumgun. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I can realize the unelaborated nature of mind. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles in their combination according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings. Continue. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of the two veils, and perceives the various types of knowledge in their true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance in the prison of samsara as a father for an only son. Like a thunderclap, he awakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and loosens the chain of karma through the 60 branches of harmonious speech. He wields the wisdom sword to cut the seedling of suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels, and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Manjushri, adorned by the 112 signs of a Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance.
Om Arapazana de 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 Om Arapazana. Om Arapazana de 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 Om Arapazana. Om Arapazana de 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 Om Wangeshoram Om Wangeshoram Om Wangeshoram Om Wangeshoram Om Wangeshoram Om. Thank you, Danila. You who are the perfect youthful body, whose flame of wisdom blesses, and dispel the darkness of worldly ignorance, are positive before you and praise to Manjushri. Yunegelen Changwabo, Yishe Rome Rabdambar, Yeden Demo Mensarwa, Yambar Yanglai Zanzardu. Tangge doje shaje reisen rong yinje mado deje bonjong ba serje lembo davre jebe ko shaje jarbe shabla ge zanze. Jagara benje bola gadenje bema injone gala inden rome dada lana zembe ganenze orjen rumbo jela zorwande dojen janje delo naro da marba malai jije gambo baba moja ba jarwa indigong Kaju lama namla zorwande rome jije yenje bodane de zong zangji genje ngo nye ransem juge ngo zong dong zebe zawe lam shala ge zanze. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, evening. So, today I'm going to share the teaching is a stage of meditation, awakening the mind. So this book has 8 chapters. I'm going to share today is the chapter 7. Chapter 7 is how to meditate on the development stage of skillful means. So I think we already have Chinese vision. Shirab, you got it right. Then Vietnamese, Spanish, English, or we have different visions, different languages. So this chapter 7 is how to meditate development stage of skillful means. It's generation stage. Very important, most important section, Vajrayana tradition. So this in this stage of meditation, book has different levels, chapters. So under this 7th chapter is the all the yanas almost the same. The Bodhicitta, the chapter is special Mahayana and Vajrayana, and then Bodhicitta chapter that makes different than Vajrayana, and Mahayana is different than Theravada tradition. So this generation stage is different than Theravada tradition and Mahayana tradition. The Vajrayana tradition is different. So this the Vajrayana tradition generation stage is the most important section in the teaching. Practice. So this sacred mantra Vajrayana, essence of the Dharma teachings, the fruition part. So you are in the, I think you have this copy. So no sacred mantrayana, Vajrayana is. So essence of the Dharma teachings means like the Buddhas share many different teachings. So this teaching is the essence of the Dharma teaching. Also the fruition part. So we train our mind by giving rise to strong intention to safely have all sentient beings reach the state of Buddhahood. So this, are you saying the one PowerPoint is a little different or the book? I think it's the same. So, okay, go to the book. It's a hot. Here is out of all the measurable Dharma teachings. So they have so many different Dharma teachings that Buddha Vajradhara taught to disciples in accordance with their varying karmic propensity. The essence of them all is the fruition part of sacred mantra Vajrayana. So Buddha Vajradhara, he shares so many teachings, and then this the essence teaching is this Vajrayana, sacred mantrayana. So this sacred mantrayana teaching is called the fruition teaching. Fruition part means directly talk about the result. And so that's the reason is the fruition part of sacred mantrayana, Vajrayana. Then, history, you have to know a little bit background histories. Vajrayana teaching, when Buddha Shakyamuni he's sharing all these teachings come from Dharmakaya, Buddha. So that's why Buddha Vajradhara. We studied the Heart Sutra. Same, when Buddha was Shakyamuni shared the Vajrayana teaching, he into the nature, mind, samadhi states, and then arise all these teachings. So that's reason is this teaching is we, talking about here is directly come from Buddha Vajradhara, means it's come from its true nature, and not the conceptually sharing. It is a teaching is come from the Buddha Vajradhara's heart or nature samadhi, and then come from that tradition is called mantra Vajrayana. Then we enter into such a path. So we're going into this Buddha, the Vajrayana practice. We train our mind by giving rise to strong intention to severely help all sentient beings reach the state of the Buddhahood. So when we're going to practice Vajrayana teachings, this Yadam deities practice, the most important is our mind have to train our mind. So giving rise to strong intention to severely help sentient beings, reach the state of Buddhahood, means we have to generate bodhicitta. So that's why in the Jigtin Sumgun 5-part of Mahamudra, when he shared that teaching, so the love, compassion, bodhicitta, it is the preliminary practice. So then he shared the Yadam deity and Guru Yoga. So that's why when we practice Yadam deity, and we must have to have a bodhicitta, and that's the reason all the Yadam deity sadhana, when we start in beginning, they always take refuge and bodhicitta. So that too is very important. Without take refuge to enlightened beings, and mind generate bodhicitta, then the practice of Yadam deity also sometimes can be mistake. So that's why we have very strongly intention, wanted to help liberate many other beings, practice Yadam deity. So that's why here is we have to hold the Buddha bodhicitta. They are so the meditators, like Vajrayana meditators can go practitioner enter the fruition Vajrayana path. When a person with the intention and the conduct of the Mahayana enters into the fruition path of sacred mantra Vajrayana, he or she must receive empowerment to wrapping his or her mind stream. So then when go into Vajrayana practice, especially Yadam deity practice, when we're going into enter that, fruition path, so we have to receive the empowerment. The empowerment is wrapping mind stream, our mind is opened. So the reason is, right now, our body, speech, mind is ordinary. And empowerment, this ritual and so instructions introducing our body, speech, and mind is enlightened body, enlightened speech, and enlightened mind. So when we practice Yadam deity, we have to recognize our body, speech, mind is, same is the Yadam deities, not separate. So that's the reason we have to receive empowerment, rapid mind stream. Then also, you know, when we receive the empowerment, however, taking empowerment is not also enough. Yeah. So what we have to do, having received empowerment, we must uphold our samayas. When we receive this empowerment, the Yidam deities, we uphold our samayas. So follow the samaya. And Vinayana say vowels. And we have to, when you go to enter into the Theravada tradition or, Bizek teaching, we have to give up 10 non-virtuous deeds. And that's called the vowels. And then go into bodhicitta level, and so then we have to keep the bodhicitta's vowels. So generate love and compassion. Then we go into the Mahayana, this is sacred Mantrayana teaching. We receive the empowerment. When we receive the empowerment, we have to uphold the Samaya, secret vowels. So the secret vowel is hardest one actually, but we think is usually the Theravada tradition vowels more harder than this Vajrayana vowels. But truly, actually, Vajrayana, uphold the Samaya keeping is the most hardest one. The high level Vajrayana, this uphold the Samaya is we have to maintain pure perception. So long as you dilute it in perceptions, so that's also actually no holding the Samaya. So then of course, we maintain the pure perceptions. Body, speech, mind is hold our enlightened body, speech, mind. Then of course all seeing forms, beings are Buddha, form body. Hearing song is a mantra. All thoughts is Dharmakaya. That's the then absolute truth Samaya we holding. If that is actually Vajrayana Samaya, but it's very hard to hold that Samaya. So that's why when we have confessions, practice prayers, Sheto, this Nara Konsha we call, they all mention about delusion is a confession. And we confession to our delusion. So delusion is impure perceptions, conceptual thoughts. So that's why in the many Yidam deity sadhana, the confession is not only like basic level confessions. The confession is like conceptual thoughts, delusion, or we confessing. So that's why the Vajrayana Samaya is the hardest one. If long as we keep this Samaya, then having received empowerment, we must uphold our Samaya or sacred Mantrayana. If we remain in proper absence to our Samaya, even if we never meditate, we will be liberated within 7 lifetimes. Without, even no meditating, uphold the Samaya, 7 lifetimes, we can be enlightened. So then this, keeping the Samaya 7 lifetimes, I really don't know which levels of Samaya. So, Samaya means many different levels. This is a very generally, kept Samaya. Maintain pure perception, then, we don't have to go to 7 lifetimes. So if long as you can keep maintain pure perceptions, we can liberate in the Pardo. So we recognize that in the Pardo, all this frightening, form, the whatever arising. So all is transforming pure perception, deities form body, and then we can liberate into the Sambhonakaya form. So that's why this, upward Samaya could be, just not losing the bodhicitta and receive the empowerment and not losing the devotion to the gurus, deities. I think that's, kept saving lifetimes without a meditation practice could be weak enlightenment. So that's the thing mentioned about here. Then this potential is rooted in keeping the Samaya of Lamas enlightened body, speech, and mind without transgressing. So then also, kept Samaya with the Ru gurus. So also always, supplicating, to the guru. And the kept Samaya is, of the Lama's enlightened body, speech, and mind without transgressing. Same time, if we are able to supplicate Lama in this way, the blessing will come automatically. The blessing is naturally comes. So that's why, Jigten Songgung, when he talked about the 5-part Mahamudra, love, compassion, bodhicitta's preliminary practice. And then go into Yadam deity practice, kept, receive empowerment, kept the Samaya, and then supplicating to the Guru, and kept the Samaya with the Guru. So, and then, meditate Mahamudra, blessing and, realization is naturally arising. So that's the same, here is the first talk about bodhicitta is important. And without bodhicitta, actually, Yadam deity practice is not allowed. So that's why stages, when we're going to the Yadam deity sadhana, always mind generation, bodhicitta there. All these deities, embodiment of the bodhicitta. So that's the reason we have to mind generate bodhicitta ourselves, going into the practice of the Yadam deity. We wanted to part of the Yadam deity, so that's why Yadam deity is embodiment of a bodhicitta. That reason we have to mind generate bodhicitta before go into the, in the secret mantrayana. So long as we have a bodhicitta, then we can enter into the secret mantrayana path. So that's opening the door to in the Vajrayana path. So then, of course, sometimes, we talk about which kind of the person have ability or can practice Vajrayana teaching, secret mantrayana. So long as we have a bodhicitta, then mind generate, that person is already open in the Vajrayana secret path. So you have, you ability, we have ability or opportunity go into the secret mantrayana path. Without a bodhicitta, and then actually, naturally secret is like the naturally already boundaries to the go into the Yadam deities mandala. So door is not open to go into the Vajrayana secret mantrayana path, and no opportunity to go into enlightened beings mandala. So that's why, if we wanted to go into enlightened beings or Yadam deities mandala, we wanted to part of that mandala, then we have to mind generation bodhicitta. Long as mind generate bodhicitta, we are naturally registered, we have ticket or go into the Yadam deities mandala. So that's why it's important always sharing. This is the bodhicitta is first. So then bodhicitta you have ticket to go into like same go into the Vajrayana Yadam deities mandala palace. Same time then we have to receive all this empowerment and introducing all the deity and our nature is inseparable, what is connections. So that is the all ritual is empowerment. And then you of course go into the mandala, we have to keep secret, like all this recognize, it's the secret mantrayana as vowels is some we have to keep secret, not sharing for other who know yet the capacity or no same opinion, same path. Someone knows going to same path, no sharing that person, because of that kind we have to keep the secret. That's called outer level secret. The inner level, this secret is naturally boundaries. So even you wanted to share, do something, but long as you don't have the ability, naturally secret, so no possible to share. So that's the this important part. Or then if we are able to supplicate Lama in the way, the blessing will come continually, or the pure way gain quality of experience and the realization were like the rising water over once frozen, like melting in the summer. So long as all these stages follow, then naturally our realization is realization is become how to say arising. So same is here is the example, water over once frozen like melting in the summer. So sun is chant to the frozen ice, snow, and then snow or frozen water is naturally melting to the water. Same, all this guru's blessing and our all these instructions follows, then naturally our realization is arising. The path to be here is the path of the two stages. The development stage, path of skillful means, and the completion stage, path of wisdom. Then Vajrayana, this teaching has followed by two different sections. So generation stage and completion stage. Right now here we're sharing is a generation stage. And so then you know what generation stage benefit in the Pardo. So Pardo, we want to liberate in the Pardo, Sambhonakaya, Nirmanakaya, or due to, this Yadam deities practice. And then if we wanted to liberate in the Dharmakaya, when death Pardo, then that is due to this is a completion stage. The completion stage is Dzogchen Mahamudra practice. Completion stages. Then go into Vajrayana teaching. They have these two sections. Today I'm going to share with you is a generation stage. If we are not briefed of the fortune to have renunciation, bodhicitta, and devotion, then we should diligently apply ourselves to the two stages. then the fortune to have renunciation. Of course, renunciation is enter into basic practice, Theravada tradition. Without renunciation and harder to keep 10 virtues practice, and very hard to abandon 10 non-virtues without renunciation. So renunciation take to the basic teaching practice, and then bodhicitta practice take to us in the Mahayana level, and the devotion then is got into the Vajrayana teaching. So these three, renunciation, bodhicitta, and devotion, open the door to all these three yanas. Three yana is generally we think, Buddha's teaching, and this practice is in different countries, practicing, like pointing to each different country object. So that is like kind of a people who study Dharma and who wanted to know the history, and then their person use this, like their idea. Tibetan Buddhist is Vajrayana, Chinese, Japanese Mahayana, Sri Lanka telling, and there all is a Theravada tradition. So that kind is like people who want to know the history, follow that way. But practitioner, especially in this way, you saying the practice of Dharma, you cannot think that way, okay? So all these three yana, we have to practice together. Because if we don't follow the cause and the effect, if we not abandon the non-virtuous deeds, the negative karma, the hold us in the samsara. We cannot liberate, cannot, our mind ripening or love and compassion. If we don't purify negative karma, and if we don't abandon the non-virtuous deeds. So that's why when we practice, we have to follow. First step is, abandon the non-virtuous deeds. And that's our Theravada tradition. Last time I shared with you this teaching, and also this generation stage is not to focus for the author, like which country practicing, which country has this Dharma and the teachings. This all have to look to ourselves. Create a renunciation to samsara, really wanted to liberate ourselves, and recognize why we are stuck in samsara, because due to negative karma. And we abandon the non-virtuous deeds and negative karma, and our body, speech, mind follow the virtuous deeds. So then that practice is called Theravada tradition. And that helps us free from samsara. So then, of course, bodhicitta practice generate love and compassion. So that makes become we are spiritual person and more courage, and we can liberate ourselves. Also have some, opportunity or ability to help for others. And so that, yadam deity, that the bodhicitta practice helps open all our like following the yadam deity practice inner level, going to coming. So that section is very important. Without the bodhicitta, then that talk about our inner qualities not possible to arise. So then without the devotion is no ability to receiving blessing. So that's why this all three yana is we have to practice, have to recognize this three yana is we have to bring together when we practice this yadam deity or whichever you practice, we have to bring together these three yanas. Then we should diligently apply ourselves to the two stages. So long as we have renunciation, bodhicitta, and devotion to the Yadam gurus, then we have to apply, these generation stages. First, it is indispensable to develop some level of understanding and experiential test of the basic ground. So when we're going to, study this teaching, knowing this generation stage, we need some idea what we're doing, which instruction we need to receive, which, like when we practice, like which kind of instruction we have to follow. We need idea ourselves. Otherwise, with not knowing and practice, sometimes no benefit. So that's the reason here. See, first it is indispensable to develop some level of understanding. We have to develop some level of understanding and experiential test of the basic ground. So then also we have to test of the basic ground, the path and the result. So this Vajrayana teaching is sharing is followed by 3 different levels: ground, path, result. Okay, ground is right now we have body, speech, mind obstacle. Due to that we are ordinary being. So that is ground. And same is like sun is nighttime or thunderstorm, dark clouded. So we don't fear or don't see signs in the sky. So that is the same as the ground. Nighttime or thunderstorm, dark clouds, that time sun is still in there. Same, right now we are in the ground level. Still we have all this Buddha's quality, enlightening quality. And, all the enlightening quality with all the Buddha's, nature with everything is within that time we have. Right now we have. So we are becoming enlightening. Enlightenment means we're not going to get something new, something. So what we have right now, we're discovering that. So that's why, here, first, it is indispensable to develop some level, understand is, the basic ground is, ordinary time. The path is when we're practicing. So that is a path. And the result is, realize. So this 3 is also like not separate, it's one actually. When we have emotion, obstacles, we are ground. We have some levels, love and compassion, we are on the path. We have realized the true nature, then we are in the result. Okay, so same is like sun is in the night time, it's the same as ground. And then morning, lighting up, so that is the path. Then sun arises from the mountain or somewhere in the ocean, wherever arising. So that is the result. But sun itself doesn't change anything. So that is all is our perceptions. Similar, right now we are in the ground, we don't recognize we have this Buddha's or enlightening qualities, because due to body, speech, mind obstacles. And then when we're on the path, we removing our obstacles. And fruition means, so then we arrive, the result is like purify all the 2 obstacles, free from obstacles. So actually we are same person, not different anything. Example, right now is like you are in your home, so that is ground. When you get in the car, in the passenger, or passenger, or traveler, you are passenger, then that time is you are on the path. When you get destination is a result, but only yourself, that actually the person is the same. When you are at home on the path and you get in the destination, it's the same person, no difference. So this idea is the same, like follow exactly same that way. And the ground means right now we are. Could be, you are on the path, because if you have like love and compassion into your mind, then you are in the path already. Okay, result is when you purify all these two obstacles, afflictive emotion obstacle and cognitive obscuration. So you purify two obscurations, then you are rich in the Buddhahood. So that is the, in this teaching, sharing. Before shooting arrow, first we have to choose a certain our target. So before you're going to shoot the arrow, you have to know where is your target. You cannot shoot arrow to target put in the west, you shoot arrow in the east is incorrect. So we have to know why we have to practice, why is this practice is benefiting. Then in the same way, we must understand what we are purifying our minds to realize. We also have to know which kind of like we're going to purify our minds to realize, which is going to get realized. We are purifying our minds to realize the innate nature, the basic ground that has always been beyond any duality of bondage and liberation. So this is the main point. Yeah, what here says, we are purifying our minds to realize the inner nature means we have to purify body, speech, mind obstacle. Then we purify body, speech, mind obstacle. We realize the inner nature of the basic ground. Right now, in our, this ordinary mind, ordinary speech, ordinary body is Buddha. We recognize this ordinary body, speech, mind is Buddha. So we have to recognize that. That we have to realize. Basic ground that has always been beyond any duality of bondage and liberation. So that nature, the basic, truth is never bondage and bondage, duality of bondage. So, and also liberation. So this one, if you get idea, then you know what we sharing here. If you don't know in this level, it's right now what we're talking about, then very hard to understand what is Mantrayana, Vajrayana means. Okay, so that's why, this idea is, this section is very important. So right now we are in the ground. Even we are in the ground, all this enlightening quality is there. Our enlightening quality, nature is, being beyond any duality of bondage and liberation. It is always a liberate. Actually, our true nature is, even we are in the ground, it is always a liberate. And it's always being beyond any duality all the time. But we don't recognize, because the same as the sun is in the sky like nighttime, our perception, we don't receive the sun, but sun is not in the sky, like not anymore like in there. But sun itself is never, sunset. and it's always being beyond the clouds and bondage, and then sun is always there, never sunrise. The same, our nature is always there. That's why we say it's being always a liberation, always a liberation. So in this case, you practice, like example, Yadam deity or Mahamudra, you directly go into your mind non-conceptual states. So that mind is like the free from conceptual. Then that mind is always there, always a liberation. That is always beyond the duality. We have always that is in there. We know knowing that. So this sacred mantra yana teaching is introducing what we have always within us. Always within us, we have the Buddha nature. It's there. It is always free from dualistic conceptual. So that's the reason is being beyond duality of bondage and liberation. Everyone okay, understand or no? Okay, then what are the object of purification? So we have all this nature is liberate already there all the time. Then what is we going to purify? What are the object of purification? These are all the temporary advantages, appearances that arise but have never truly existed inherently. The basis upon which we make false projection based on confusion. So here is object of purification is these are all the temporary. What is temporary? Our body obstacle, speech obstacle, mind obstacles are temporary. So advantageous appearances that arise but have never truly existed inherently, means these obstacles are never truly inherently exist. These obstacles are not your own true nature. These obstacles are temporary. So that's the reason we can purify it. Same is like sun is clouds under the clouds, so the clouds is temporary. The cloud sun, the clouded never affected to the sun. Clouded is not true the sun, sun's nature. It's only temporary. So that's why never truly exists inherently. The basis upon which we make false projection based on confusion. So that's the basic upon which we make false like projections, or this delusion projection obstacle is based on confusion. So we have to purify that. Then agent of purification. What is purification? We have to object of we have to purify. What is purifications? Is the wisdom of true of the path and all that is associated with that. So then purification is the path. So path is like wisdom. or like all this practicing different these stages, meditation stage is purification. The state that is pure and free from confusion is the result. So using this or the purification, when we reach to the pure and free from confusion, that is the result. Therefore, the basic ground is that which must be recognized. So we have to recognize our basic ground. So basic ground we have to recognize right now we are in the ordinary being, but we have to recognize we have a Buddha nature. The nature is never lost. The nature is always within us. And all this Vajrayana, the teaching, practice, mantra, all is purification. Example, we chant Om Mani Padme Hum. Om means ground. Like we have a body, speech, mind, ordinary. It is truly enlightening body, speech, mind, but due to obstacles and ordinary body, speech, mind, Om means. So Mani means, method. Padme means wisdom. And then the method, wisdom is path. Home means and result. Om Mani Padme Hum, result. Result is home. So that's why it's a mantra also followed by same these ideas. Then we chant Om Ahum Benzang Guru Pema Siddhe Hum. Also same meaning. Om Ahum is the same, like our ordinary body, speech, mind is ordinary, become ground. Om Ahum. Benzang Guru is the true nature. It's always there. Benza Guru. Benza is true nature. Benza is true nature. So sometimes Benza means wisdom. Benza. The Guru is, of course, Guru also dependent, like which level we explain. The Guru can be ultra level, inner level, sacred level. Guru is can be embodiment of a person. Guru means really your quality, enlightening quality. Guru means like true nature mind too. So the Benzang Guru is same, is wisdom, true nature mind. Pema is the method again. Pema. Siddhe Hum is accomplishments. So the point is, this ordinary body, speech, mind is ground, but the true nature mind is always there, never lost. Same as the Vajra, Benza, and undestructible, always being there. So that is wisdom, true nature. And then Pema is method, love and compassion. Siddhe Hum is Bezang Pema Siddhe Hum is accomplishment. Become same as the Pema Sambhava, or we have become inseparable with Yadams. So this right now here sharing all this mantra idea information is the same, no difference. The main point is we are right now is ordinary being, body, speech, mind, obstacle, but actually that person is Buddha still. So you get rid of the ordinary body, speech, mind, you cannot find Buddha as any other than that. So this ordinary person, that person, it is Buddha. So due to obstacles, no recognizing. Even no recognizing, but that is Buddha. So that's why we need purification, purifying this path, method, wisdom. And then Hum is like Om Mani Padme Hum. Hum is big, result discovered. So that is the same here. In addition, the basic ground and the result should be known. Ground is that which must be recognized. I think where we are. I think the state is pure and free from asi. Confession is the result. Therefore, the basic ground is the which must be recognized. We have to recognize basic ground is the Buddha. So the path is that which enables us to recognize it. The path recognize. The path is that which enables us to recognize the result, which is what we aim to realize. So the point is, path and the result is the same. No difference. The sort of ground and the result is the same. Path bring together, Path helps recognize that. Then in addition, the basic ground and the result should be known as one. See, result and ground is what must be one. Ordinary person and Buddha enlightened that is one, cannot be separate. Because I told you, like when you are same as a passenger, when you're at home, then you leave your home and you reach destination. The person must be same person. You cannot be different. So right now we are ordinary being. We practicing, and when one day we reach the realize, the persons must be same. So that's why this also sometimes the teachings talk about, the ground is ordinary, path is Bodhisattva, result is Buddha. So when we have afflictive emotions, we are in the ground, ordinary. When we have love and compassion in our hearts, we are in the Bodhisattva. When we purify all obstacles, realize, then we are Buddha. So this 3 stages, one person, no separate. So that's the idea, Vajrayana teaching. The main point is whether in the one and the same in essence, their points should be well understood. So that point we have to understand. Whether in the context of the ground, path, or result, our basic nature, our true essence is unchanging. So this is, our true nature mind is never changing. It's never lost. So that is the same as like Om Ahom, Benzar Guru. Usually we chant Om Benzar Guru or Vajra Guru. Vajra means the point is this one. So this is come to the mantra as then Vajra. Why we call Vajra, whether it's the context of the ground. So right now we are in the ground part of result. Our basic nature, the mind nature, our true essence is unchanging, never changing. So the same, sun is in the nighttime, sun is the morning, like before rising, sunrise, daytime, evening, sun itself is the same, never changing. So this all is like our perception. And so due to the clouds in the sky, so then we receive different perceptions. But the sun itself is always the same. Sun is clouded, thunder, or less clouded, or sun is shining. Sun itself is always the same. So the same idea is right now we are in the same as a thunderstorm. All these obstacles. Within that we are same as a thunderstorm. Our nature is there, but we not recognizing. Sun is under the thunderstorm. And then path, like free from like more these thunderstorms, but still clouded. That is the same as a path. And the sun itself is the same. So even you have like afflictive emotion, very strong, or you have like light into your mind, or you are really recognize your own nature, realize, So the same person, same nature, no changing. So this teaching is a talk about a far away example. Right now we are all these beings groaned because of obstacle. And then Bodhisattva is a path, Buddha is a result. But think about ourselves. Go follow more close to ourselves. When you have very strong afflictive emotion, the moment we are in the ground, it's a samsara. When you have, light in your mind, some, loving is arising, compassion is arising, wanted to do good things, follow the spiritual path, your, spirits, the quality of the, positive spirits is arising in your mind, body, speech, mind. So that time you are on the path. So when you meditate, Mahamudra Dzogchen, you be in the natural states, free from all this dualistic conceptual. Then that moment we are in the result, in the enlightenment, in that moment, right? So that's, we have to think about in these ideas, very close to look to ourselves. And when you want to free from suffering, you recognize the suffering is come from negative karma. You wanted to abandon negative karma. So that is time we are in the Theravada tradition. Yeah. And when you recognize ourselves is suffering, other beings are suffering, all these other beings also used to our parents, loved ones. And when they are our parents, they're taking care of us, same as in this present mother and parents. So knowing that you generate love and compassion others, love, compassion arising within your mind, that moment you are Mahayana, Bodhisattva. Okay? And then you meditate, see, your body, speech, mind connect to the enlightened beings, right? Through your devotion. So that moment you are Vajrayana path. So this Tirayana is, or we have to look to ourselves. And every single day, sometimes we are in the, Theravada tradition, sometimes we are in the Mahayana, sometimes in the Vajrayana. That's why our minds no certainty. You don't know, sometimes you have a lot of courage to do something for others. Sometimes you don't have courage to do anything for others. Only you want to be, free from suffering, or you want to be yourself in your home, and you want to make yourself is good. So that time you are Theravada. And you wanted to do something, action, doing things, go out, helping is Mahayana. Right? So you meditate, practice, generate all, everything is pure perception create, you are Vajrayana path. So that's why this Tirayana is sometimes, misunderstanding, pointing to different country, tradition. Then of course, like using the words, idea is not really good to others' mind. So some says I'm higher level, you are lower level, then they create like I and you, and you attach it to ourselves and hatred to others. So that's why the all this misconceptual idea, because first of course, like we say, I am the Buddhist, is non-Buddhist. Then you have I and others there too, ready. But then when you are in the Buddhist path, that is tradition is Hinayana and Mahayana. Or that tradition is Mahayana and Vajrayana. So this all have I and you. So that is, not the when practitioners idea. Of course, someone wanted to, follow his story, wanting to know his story or talk about his story and what happens, like which country, then follow that person is follow the author, the idea. But meditator, practitioner, ideas, I think is different. So what in the writing in the books talk about all this history, right? When we practicing, so we have to know, Tiriyana is within ourselves. And also I shared the teaching last couple of weeks ago, I think, talk about these chakras. So the lower chakra is due to negative karma. And we have to close that chakra, use this Telovadin tradition idea practice, have to follow the cause and the effect. So Telovadin means not, tradition someone, we wanted to free from suffering, we wanted to close the lower M chakra, so then we have to practice this basic teachings, practice. And you wanted to open this higher chakra, and then see, we have to develop love and compassion. And you go to, higher, more inseparable with the Yedam deity, then of course we have to go higher levels of chakras. So this all is idea within Vajrayana teaching here is everything is within ourselves, not separate. So that's why this teaching is inner and sacred level, more focused. Okay, so here, whether in the context of grown part or result, our basic nature, our true essence unchanging, beyond waxing or waning. So beyond anything to be denied or anything to be exerted. The nature is always the same. The nature is changing anything. Even you practicing, nature is the same. If you don't practice, nature is the same. But problem is, knowing you have a nature. Okay? Practicing helps you knowing you have a nature. And no practice, then even you have a nature, but no knowing. That's what difference is. The nature itself is always the same. That's why it's called Vajrayana. Means like all this Vajrayana tradition, ritual, object, symbol is Vajrayana. Its main point is always the true nature mind. Then not only that, but all the relative true phenomena of samsara that did not exist but appear to us known temporarily. So our true nature mind is always the same. Absolutely true nature mind is always the same, but not only that case. So right now, all this our perception or what we have arising right now. So this delusion is also not truth. Not only that, but all the relative true phenomena of samsara that do not exist. You see, all these delusions not exist. But appear to us know, right now, this delusion appear to know is temporarily. But we don't recognize it is temporary. Because due to our habitual karma is so strong. That's why everything is like appear to rare for us, truth for us. But less, our karmic imprint, then you recognize this is more, you fear delusion. So when you have a very strong conceptual grasping, fixation, then this all is more rare for us. Then due to that, and all this delusion, create causes of some suffering, samsara. So that's why it's, all this right now, whatever appear to us is not rare, but for rare us is your fixation, our fixation, okay? Grasping makes it really rare. If you know that much fixation, grasping, even these all things appear to us, but then you fear it's not real, no truth. When you have very strong fixation to your home, your car, your family. Even something very small affected to that, very strongly you fear. And you get hurt. Small affected, very strongly hurt yourself. Because due to grasping and fixation. So less fixation, less grasping, then less hurt. We know, so like we don't own things, not belong to our family, and then something's going on, we don't hurt, and we don't really fear that much. So that's all is rare or not rare is due to like fixation, grasping, holding. Then everything is rare, and as long as hold that very strongly, then it's all this conceptual or delusion is very strongly affected for us, our mind. When you meditate, like you're really into practicing, visualizing Yadam deity, your mind's connection to that, or your mind is non-conceptual, shamatha, vipassana, or this mahamudra, which level you are really into that states, different state levels, meditation states. In that moment, all this outer level phenomena, these delusions, is there but not affected to you anything. When your mind is neutral state, then that moment you recognize all this phenomena is, you really recognize it's a delusion. It is there, but not truly inherently exist. So you can, sometimes you really fear that due to your meditation experience. Then you recognize all this form is empty, emptiness is form is no other than emptiness. It is there, but your mind is not picking up. It is like just same as a delusion there. So when you're off the meditation, come back to conceptual thoughts, everything's rare for us. So when you are into the natural states, Mahamudra, all this, phenomena is kind of delusion, not truly exist. You fear that. So that's the reason here says that do not exist, but appear to us no temporary. Without a past to be trust or future to be found. So this projection of confusion that have never truly existed yet appear to us from our habitual imprints. This appear to us because due to our habitual imprints. But whatever appear to in our mind, appearances are truly no exist. So this instruction is very important because we are stuck in samsara due to all these delusions. We know knowing these appearances, delusions truly no exist. Yeah. So our mind is very strong fixation attached to that. And due to that, then, this, or this appearance object is give you happiness and unhappy. So because we attach to object and appearances, hatred to the appearances. So that's why, is bring attachment into aversion. So the point is the appearance is there, but long as your mind is no fixation attached to that, the appearance is no problem. Appearance is actually not truly inherently exist. So we have to recognize that. That's why the Pema Sambhava, when he shared the, Dzogchen pointing instruction to the older woman and older man. First, he introduced all these appearances is not true exist. But when you know meditating, the idea is not understand easily. Only you can have some like, of course, intellectual idea, but you don't have experience. When you meditate, Mahamudra, Dzogchins, your mind is really into nature states, then all these phenomena appearances no problem. As long as your mind is no fixation attached to that, all appearance is emptiness. Okay, you feel that, you get the experience. And also Telopa give instruction to Naropa. Most important instruction, he says, Tibetan has Pantnave Menchen Shimpenchen, my son, he says, not problem or abandon is object. Object not abandoned, object is not problem. Appearance is not problems. A problem abandoned is your fixation, your grasping. So long as you have fixation, grasping, your mind is abandoned. I think that's correct. You know, like you stuck there. The point is, he told him that. So that's why here, first introducing all these appearances. Also, actually, whatever appear to us is rare for us because due to our habitual imprints. But truly, these are not exist. These empty forms have always been devoid of inherent rareness. This is why just as an imaginary son in a dream was never actually born and can therefore never die. In the automatic nature, all is equal. So, so then in the dream, you have like, we can have a dream in the dream. You can have born the son and die, but wake up actually never born, never die. So same is like dreaming. In the dream sometimes we get really hard, and sometimes hungry, sometimes it's cold, sometimes upset, sometimes very happy and joy. When you wake up, all this is gone. Sometimes remember what happened in the dream. So some is like very strong, memory. You have a habituate. Is when you wake up, some you remember, but generally you don't remember anything. So when you wake up, all is gone. Same, right now all the appearances, whatever we have, one day we realize all this appearance is no same is right now what we have. Appear to us right now is not like this way. Okay, so these forms are not exist truly. That's why every single being has different perceptions. No same perception, Every single being has different perceptions. And so that's why, all these 6 gram beings, all this diversity being has different perceptions because due to the different, habitual karmic imprints. That's why always being devoid of inherent rareness. This is why just as an imaginary son in a dream was never actually born and can therefore never die. In the automatic nature, all is equal. So equal is also, when you are in the post-meditation, all these objects are not equal. Some is valuable, some is not valued, right? Some is a really good object, some is not good object. So you have all these diversity forms when you are in the post-meditation. You are into the meditation states called non-draw or non-conceptual. In that moment, all these appearance form or object are same, equal, or is equal. Beyond increase or depletion. Knowing this point is important for the path of both Sutra and Mantrayana. So this idea is very important. Sutra tradition, Mantrayana tradition, means Mahayana is actually both. Mahayana has two traditions. We call Sutraya tradition and Vajrayana tradition. Okay, so the point is, like, also sometimes we talk about Hinayana tradition, Mahayana tradition, only two traditions. And then within Vajrayana has Sutra tradition and Vajrayana tradition too. But that is like author level. We just usually follow by the history and pointing author object. Yeah, inner or of course, like three of them is within ourself. So this idea right now what sharing is important. Both. If we do not understand this point and we think one day far off in the fruition, I will achieve the result, we are mistaken. So that is a mistaken idea. Because you are right now, you are in the Buddha, you know need to achieve enlightenment, other lifetimes and some days, that is a author level, we pointing right idea. Generally, we talk with the people, enlightenment, okay, you practice this, we can reach enlightenment, other lifetimes, already talked 7 lifetimes, and like that kind of idea sharing. But if you're really knowing the truth, then so it's right moment in here we are Buddha, not some other lifetimes. So that's why one day far off in the future I will achieve result, we are mistaken. It means we lack a fundamental understanding of the view, meditation and action. That is the why, first of all, we need to familiarize ourselves with this point. So that's why we have to idea this, we have to get to understanding. Right now we are in the ground, but that ground ordinary, that this person is Buddha. So Buddha is not somewhere else. Buddha is within our own mind. Enlightenment means like your mind is free from all these conceptuals, delusions. The moment you're already in there, fruition. So you are not far away somewhere like other lifetimes. Talk about the Buddhahood, okay? Once we have a clear understanding of this point, then we enter into this path. So then we can go into the path. There are many ways into enter. So many ways to go into the enter to the the path. Arranging from elaborated to simplified. It's some is like elaboration go into the path or simplified, very simple way. But the essential point is this. So the deity that we are accomplishing is already within us. So we're going to practice the Yadam deity, right? So that Yadam deity is within ourselves, not somewhere else. Then what is the Yadam deity? The true automatic deity of the absolute nature is the self-arising. Wisdom, awareness, the mandala of bodhicitta. So then we going to practice the deity that we are accomplishing is already within us. Yadam deity is within ourselves already. The true automatic deity of the absolute nature is the self-arising wisdom, awareness. So that is the Yadam deity, the true Yadam deity. The Yadam deity is true Yadam deity is no other than that, okay? Until we realize that, we rely on author level Yadam deity. Do you understand? And this is called absolute truth Yadam deity. absolute truth Yadam deity is within ourselves. Within ourselves is, see, this that is self-arising wisdom. So our mind, nature, with bodhicitta, awareness, that is Yadam deity. And Yadam deity is not any other than that. So that is always within us, not somewhere else. But right now we not knowing this. So that's the reason, we rely on outer level Yadam deity. Do you understand? Inner level Yadam deity. This is inner level Yadam deity. This inner level Yadam deity we have, and we not knowing. So that's the reason we rely on outer level Yadam deity until realize this. And the same is like we talked about a guru. We rely on outer level guru until realize this absolute truth guru. So become guru, Yadam is inseparable, same in this state. And so, yeah, that's why here, rising wisdom awareness, the mandala of bodhicitta. So that's also called mandala of bodhicitta. So mandala means everything's included there. Everything's inseparable. All the qualities within that self-arising nature mandala. Mind has everything. So that's why it's called mandala of bodhicitta. Why is it called bodhicitta? Because that self-arising wisdom is subtle level mind, non-door, true nature, and that true nature mind is not relative to the bodhicitta. This is absolute truth bodhicitta. It says nature mind self-arising is called bodhicitta. Okay. The bodhicitta sometimes you get to misunderstand. It's like you have to know relative truth bodhicitta or absolute truth bodhicitta. And relative truth bodhicitta, like, okay, good intention, I want to liberate others. The intention is called relative truth bodhicitta. But absolute truth bodhicitta is here self-arising wisdom awareness. So then that has all the qualities. Self-arising wisdom awareness, it itself is called bodhicitta. That's called absolute truth bodhicitta. So then that has all the enlightening qualities there. So that's why it's called mandala. All phenomena of the world of appearances have never been separate from this basic state. So all the phenomena of the world appearances, see, have never been separate from this basic state. So this, I think it's this one is talk about mandala, Yadam deity mandala. Then all phenomena of the world or appearances have never been separate from this basic state. Means like all this whatever arising is arising from the nature ripa. So that reason, phenomena world appearance have never been separate from this basic state. Means like the basic nature ripa states, not separate from the nature states. Everything is a manifestation by our nature ripa, and everything is arising from your ground, true, your nature. Nature is arising all these forms. That's why all these forms is dissolved into the nature ripa again. All these phenomena is arising from the nature ripa or is dissolved into the nature ripa. That's the reason here says never being separate from the basic state. It's like basic nature states. Everything's arising from the nature, but or it's dissolved into the nature state, basic state. So nature is, you know, here is already talked, is very beautifully explained, you know, nature. So automic deity of absolute nature is the self-arising wisdom, awareness, the mandala of bodhicitta. Everything is a part of that, not separate from that state. So when we have a delusion, we know knowing, we know recognize, everything is separate, okay? So if you realize this truth, then everything is not separate. Everything is like part of that. Being separate from this basic state, never being separate from this basic state. However, for the sentient beings who do not realize this, see, we don't know that, we didn't recognize that. That's why we have to practice Yidam deity. If you have that realized, then no need to practice Yidam deity there. That's why here is very clear. However, for the sentient beings who do not realize this, oneself and the deity appear to be separate entities. Okay, so we always like fears, like because we are separate from the Yidam deities. And then of course like we are separate from all these phenomena. That's why we have very strong boundaries, I and self. Yeah. So no, here the idea is, you know, so truly we are part of Mandala. We are not separate from the Yidam deity. We are within that state. Not only ourselves, every phenomena, every appearance is part of that. But due to our delusion, we not knowing that. No, everything is separate. Oneself and the deity appear to be separate entities. So then this also think about, you know, our body has so many levels, chakras, and there's a wing and bindus. So all this is right now is no rappening. No rappening, everything is impure. You know, then also rappening, like no rappening higher level chakras. You know, lower level chakras. The chakra is talk about 108 chakra. Then chakra is talk about 7 chakras, 4 chakras, 5 chakra, 4 chakra, 3 chakras. It's always depending according to the teachings. You know, can be subsumed, everything is one chakra. You know, then of course like you more elaborated way is like so many chakras. Then another way we talk about 108 chakras within our body. So that's the reason also auto level symbol is 108 mala beads. So that's also indicate our body has 108 chakras. Then some teachings that talk about 5 chakras, some teachings talk about 4, 3 is, you know, it's become oneness. So all the depending levels, right? The point is actually same idea, same. So we have all this within our body has so many chakras, and this body actually is the same as whole this universe. And this whole universe is within our body. This whole universe can be is impure universe, can be pure universe. So right now is everything is impure universe. So that's, you know, chakra is like your chakra is the opening up is like lower chakras, not higher level chakras. And that's why we have all these impure perceptions. Last couple of weeks ago, I shared with you. So this is three lower realm beings, open chakra is lowest one. If you want to lowest chakra close, then we have to follow this Theravada tradition, this cause and effect. Very important to follow that. Abandoning, harming for other beings. If long as we harm for other beings, due to very strong self-grasping, stingy, so that all rappening these perceptions and harming for other beings, this conscious is wrapping, lower chakra is open. Due to that, this lower realm experience. So lower realm means like not somewhere else. Actually, long as you open this lower realm chakras, this all lower realm experience. Then our human being, is no lower realm, lowest chakra is open. Are thanks to second lowest chakra is opened. So that's why all these human beings perceptions we have. And in that state, you can be go down, you can be go up, and the transaction chakra. Transaction is like lower chakra or upper chakra, right? Lower chakra is if you go down, is three lower realms. If you maintain in that chakra state, you have all this like right now our human beings perceptions. Why is the transaction? Because like due to our mind, which one you really create perceptions. Like we create like negative karma, harming for others, then habituate lower realm chakra. That is going to rapidate. And we not create negative strong karma. We don't create loving compassion, generate, then maintain that chakra still. So you go back to again that chakra die, go back to that chakra again. So you have human beings perception rapiding, again and again. Then within human beings, like we have the same perceptions. So then long as we take human beings body, long as you open that chakra, we have all these human beings karma. Then we have a collective karma, and then due to individual karma, we have individual karma. Some is a suffering, even human body. Some is happy in the human body realms, but still same chakra open. Anyway, due to karma, slightly we have different lifestyles. Okay, and in this state is a transaction. So long as you create love and compassion, generate bodhicitta, you can go up to higher chakras. This higher chakra is like then the different levels are there. So we talk about the different yidam deities. Also, these different levels is there has dharma protectors and all these different gardens protections. So that is go through that first and go to the deities palace. Another that reason we have to practice the protectors, dharma gardens. This protector dharma gardens is not auto level somewhere, another way, adiya, this right now I'm talking about inner level, our body level, chakra. So all these dharma gardens is like, second level chakra is right now human beings, karma, and you're going up to another level, all these dharma gardens, you have to go through that. So that's the reason we have to connect to that dharma gardens. Do you understand? And the different levels in the dharma protector we're saying, but not 100 enlightened beings, bodhisattva high levels, but not some lower realm suffering, but protectors means protecting the secret higher like perceptions. So same is like you go into beautiful palace, they always have the gatekeepers, securities. Without that, you go through that, you cannot go into the in the palace. And so that's the reason we have to, connect to our own inner Dharma gardens, connect to them, and practice that. So that is also Dharma protectors. That's why each, like another talk about Yadam deity, Mandala. This all deity Mandala has different Dharma protectors. The point is all Dharma protectors the same. Dharma gardens means you cannot go into without their permission, go into the higher realm chakras. So that is within your deity chakra. Yeah, we have that our own within our own chakra. Within already talked, we have that, but we cannot access to that level because this Dharma garden is not allowed to go up there. That's why your mind is in this right now is second lower chakra, so maintain the human beings around perceptions. So we practice, connection to this Dharma gardens chakra and ask them to help. So that is like, and the second lower chakra, upper level is another chakra is I think Dharma gardens level. Okay, so long as you go through that, then you into your mandala, Buddha's mandala. So Buddha mandala is within in our heart center chakras. Yeah. So long as you are into heart level chakras, then you have all the appearances deity. And our perception right now, what we have is all is gone, is delusion, not there exists there. Then what is the important to, right now our this human being perception we have, how do we get into our higher chakra? The passport is, your passport is love and compassion, so love and compassion is a passport to go higher chakras. You have to show that to the Dharma gardens. Is Dharma gardens accept your love compassion is enough, then they let go into your you are in the heart level, the deity's chakra. Then you recognize you are part of the deity. But without love and compassion, the bodhicittas, this Dharma gardens not allow you go into that level chakra. So that's a sacred boundaries naturally. So that's all is our own journey, own experience, own journey. Do you understand? So that's why, like right now we are human being, within human beings around, we have very strong transaction state. Which chakra is going to open, or you're going to maintain this human being's chakra, or you want to open up higher realms chakra. So the due to all these practice connections, and we create karmic imprints, higher realm chakra. So that's why we create love and the generation bodhicitta. I mean, that is a passport I told you, and the Dharma garden is going to accept. The long as you arrive in the mandala, within mandala, and then this mandala state is called, pure perceptions. Mandala is pure perceptions, like the main Yadam deity to all these Dharma gardens is oneness. Actually, it's not separate. Everything is like the deity's emanation. So we are part of that, we are, within same, all the deities inseparable. So that means like we are become part of the Yadam deity's mandala. It's Yadam deity's a citizen, Then that time we have absolutely different perceptions. So that's all is inner level practice. Sacred level practice, you open the non-door states is the highest chakras. Higher chakra is like we talked about, crown chakra and brain level chakras. Whatever they have no-door chakras. If long as you open the chakras, you are the deity already. You are the king of the deity, you know. So the high, I mean the like, I think opening the heart chakra level, we are part of the deity's citizen, part of their, you know, the mandala. Then you open to and crown chakra and brain level chakra somewhere. So then you are the king already. You have your own universal again. You have your own like kingdom, or you know, that is kingdom. You can create your own kingdom. That is kingdom. So that's the, you know, different Buddha has different this I mean the, you know, pure lane, or you know, the mandala. So long as you reach to high level this open chakra, known those states, then you have become kingdom, your own kingdom. So that's the, you know, different another level perceptions. I think that's the just generally this, you know, teaching inner level idea. Long as we don't have that experience, you know, open to this higher level maintain connection. So we have to follow the focus, the, you know, close door lower chakra. Yeah, that is important. That's why, you know, most teaching focus draw lower M chakra. Then of course like connect to the higher M chakra, like generate love and compassion. So then higher M chakra, we talked this heart center chakras, all within Yadam deities. So we have that natures, you know, we have that, but we have to create that connections. And so that's why we have auto level Yadam deity practice. And knowing the inner, you know, this level. Okay, so what time is? I think we finish the time there. All phenomena of world appearing this extent, however, for the sentient beings do not realize this, oneself and deity appear to be separate entity. Then we are totally fettered in case in the cocoon of karma, emotional poisons, the deity is an embodiment wisdom, the wisdom of liberation. So now we have this negative karma because we opening this lower M chakra, right? We talked this perceptions arising. So that time then deity is arising from body. Wisdom, you know, form body is arising for, you know, we, long as you connect to that, and this deity is become our protection, auto level protections. The deity is embodiment of wisdom, the wisdom of liberation, fully realize the true nature. So this deity is fully realized the true nature. The fully realized true nature is appear to the form. And then, you know, you connect to that practicing, that helps, you know, connect to our this heart chakra. So that's is coming, you know. We're going to talk more tomorrow on there. Today we finish the time there. Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to do the dedication. Dorjen chang, telopa, naropa, marpa, malarepa, dharma lodi gambopa, pamotupa, lodi gomba. Please be stopping us most auspicious blessed or Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may achieve nations, by defeating our enemies' confusion, May all who traverse on the ways of birth, old age, sickness, death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind, where it is unborn may it rise, where it is born may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Looks like we lost Khenpo.
Yeah, maybe we give it a second.
Yeah.
Let's see. Amanda, do you have the text for the closing prayers that he was using?
Ew, yeah, 1 second. We'll get it.
Okay, thanks. Your co-host now, Khenpo.
Looks like he dropped again.
Yes. Amanda, would you like to screen share maybe that text and we can continue reading the closing prayers? I'm not sure he's going to be able to get back on so easily.
Sure, yeah, 1 second. I'll pull it.
Thank you.
Okay, and that PDF is in the chat for anyone who needs it. Deb, do you want to read? Do you want me to read?
Oh, no, please, Amanda. You can read. Thank you.
Dorje Chang, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmodrupa, and Lord Rikumpa, please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of all the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience, by defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise, where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri the warrior realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, By the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the 3 times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drigumpa Ratnashri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Sarva Mangalam.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Teacher. Beautiful teachings.
Thank you, Khenpo. Thank you, everyone.
谢谢翻译，谢谢大家。
感谢嘞，
Thank you.
跟不啦。
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.